I usually record these videos during the week, but this one's been on my mind, so I wanted to talk through it while it's still fresh. This is partly me reflecting on conversations I've been having with clients lately, and partly for any home seller out there who's looking at an offer presently and feeling stuck. So let's talk about how to think clearly when offers come in, especially in a market with a lot of inventory. This one might sound uncomfortable at first. Most sellers don't actually lose money by accepting a lower offer. They lose money by waiting without really understanding the trade-offs. And that difference between these two statements matters a lot right now. First, let's say this. If you're feeling frustrated with another low offer that has come in, that's completely normal. Most sellers had a number in mind when they listed their home. They had plans for that money. And when reality shows up lower than they expected, it can sometimes feel like something has been taken away. That gap between expectation and reality is not just financial, it's emotional. So instead of lashing out, let's slow this down. Remember the holding costs. Before you decide whether an offer makes sense, you need to understand what it costs you to wait. Most homeowners think only about price. Few remember to think about all the monthly carrying costs. Even if nothing goes wrong, you're still paying the mortgage, utilities, HOA dues, lawn care, routine upkeep, every single month that the home sits. That money doesn't pause just because you're undecided. Let's reframe that sense of loss. A lot of sellers get stuck thinking, I listed higher, so I should walk away with more. But here's the real truth. A home is what a ready, able, and willing buyer will pay for it at a specific moment in time. If your home was properly listed on the MLS, professionally marketed, syndicated, and exposed to the full market, and it didn't receive the offers close to where you expected, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means the price didn't match the moment. And that moment can change, but it doesn't always change in your favor. You need to remove emotion from the negotiation. That's where most deals stall. The difference between what you want and what the buyer is offering often feels personal. But in reality, that's usually a relatively small gap compared to what it costs you to keep waiting. If a buyer walks away and your home sits another month or two, you're still paying to hold it. You're still mentally carrying it. You're still exposed to big ticket repairs, price reductions due to market volatility and fatigue. Waiting always has a cost, even if it doesn't show up on paper right away. Think in terms of momentum, not perfection. Instead of asking, am I getting the exact number I wanted? Try asking, what does this decision free me up to do? What stress does it remove from my life? What becomes possible once this home is sold? Money sitting in a house you're ready to move on from isn't doing any work for you. Momentum often has more value than squeezing out a little extra on paper. Here are some practical reset questions you need to ask yourself before responding to any offer. Pause and reflect. What is it costing me each month to hold onto this home? How long am I realistically willing to wait? Am I negotiating from clarity or just disappointment? What does peace of mind look like for me right now? If this were purely a business decision, what would I do? The answers from these usually tell you everything you need to know. Inventory is high in several Austin area submarkets and sellers are feeling it. If you're thinking about selling or you're just feeling stuck and not currently working with a broker and you want a clearer pricing strategy, a realistic look at your options, including selling alternatives that don't involve endless showings and open houses, reach out. I'll leave a scheduling link in the description. If one part doesn't work, I'll help you find one that does, without unnecessary stress, delays, and emotional drain. Talk soon.